hope I lured you in with the name BLTs, but we are not talking about sandwiches today. We are talking about bites, licks, and tastes. Now, this is going to be a category of things that they're the sneaky things that add up that may be hindering us from seeing the results that we want, and the things that we do mindlessly and don't even realize they are adding up. The first one that I am going to talk about is truly the licks and tastes. So this is super common, especially if you are a parent and you are packing lunches. I can be guilty of doing it myself. We're doing things like we're putting goldfish in Ziploc baggies and we're grabbing a couple handfuls of them while we're doing it. We are making the PB&J and we are licking the big glob of peanut butter that's left on the knife. Now, doing this maybe one time during the week, not a big deal, but if it's happening once, it's usually happening 3, 4, 5 times. And we don't even realize it because we're kind of on autopilot. It's what we've always done. So those are the type of things that we do want to check in on. Now, it's not that we can't ever eat those things, but we do want to log them if we are, because they can add up to hundreds of calories in the day. I mean, one handful of goldfish plus one knife full of peanut butter, that's a significant amount of calories. So we do want to be at least tracking them. Or if you do want to enjoy the goldfish while you're packing the lunch, go ahead and portion yourself some out so you can munch on them while you're doing it. Another one that's really common is liquids. So when we are pouring a glass of wine or we're getting a beer on tap, we're pouring the orange juice. We think, oh, it's a glass of orange juice. But when we actually take the time to measure it out, putting it in a measuring cup or weighing it in milliliters on the scale, we realize that our serving size estimations are not very great there. So we do want to measure out our liquids until we get a better idea with our pours. And I'm going to tell you, with things like a glass of wine, you're going to always need to measure out your wine because you're always going to want a little bit more than 5 ounces. I'm telling you, 5 ounces, it's not that much. Then we have things like condiments. We do need to be tracking our condiments, and we need to be paying attention to the ones that we are choosing when we're shopping at the grocery store. Taking a second to look at the label and realizing that a lot of things like barbecue sauces or mayo-based sauces have a lot of extra calories. And again, it's not that we can't eat them. It's that we do have to be diligent about weighing out those portions so that we're not eating an extra 200 calories in 2 little tablespoons. Then I also want to talk about taking bites of things. Now, I don't want you to stress here. It's not that you can't go out to dinner and have a bite of your significant other's dessert and feel like that has ruined everything. That's not what we're talking about here. That is something that is your right, and you absolutely should try your significant other's tiramisu if it looks particularly delicious. But we are talking about the things that happen every single night. And again, I'm going to bring this back to parenthood a little bit. It's your kids have left something on their plate and you're eating the 2 extra chicken nuggets, or every single night you are having 2 bites of your kids' ice cream. Not doing it once, not a big deal. Doing it every night adds up yet again. So these are those sneaky things. And then one more thing that I do want to address is things like cooking oils and butters. If you're putting butter in the pan to cook with, it is being absorbed into your food. So we do want to account for that when we are making things. Same thing with olive oil. That does also count when we are cooking in that. If you're adding it into recipes or marinades, we do want to be mindful of that. So these again are just those little sneaky things that I do want you thinking about in the back of your mind. It's not the vegetables. It's not this or that. This is kind of the thing that we can get into where it's like, I eat healthy, but I don't know why I can't lose weight. Some of these are the hidden factors as to why. And again, it's not the fruit. It's not the veggies that's usually happening. It is the things like the goldfish, the wine, the extra couple of spoonfuls of this, that, or the other thing. If you have any questions on bites, licks, or tastes, let me know. But that's just a reminder this week. Be mindful and watch yourself when you're on autopilot.